They never look like the most aggressive. They never act like the loudest. And yet, every time the pressure rises, every time competition gets real, these men quietly start rewriting the entire hierarchy without anyone noticing how it happened. I've watched them in workrooms, training grounds, creative spaces, leadership circles, and no matter the environment, one rule always applies. A rule so subtle that most people miss it. Until they suddenly realize they're no longer competing with him, but competing around him. Because by the time they understand what he's doing, he's already shifted the entire playing field in his favor. What shocked me most was how this rule reveals itself. It doesn't come from dominance, noise, or ego. It comes from the one thing everyone overlooks in high-pressure environments: the ability to detach from the game while still playing it better than everyone else. The ability to stay unshaken while others get emotional. The ability to focus on mastery instead of victory. While the rest of the field burns energy comparing, proving, impressing, and reacting, he sits in the eye of the storm, still calculating 5 moves ahead. And that stillness is what becomes terrifying. Because stillness turns into strategy. Strategy turns into control. And control turns into outcome. Before we break down the 7 behaviors that reveal this rule, I want you to ask yourself something. In competitive environments, do you act from pressure or from clarity? Comment the word observe if you're ready to see how the quietest man in the room becomes the most dangerous one. Subscribe to Ultra Wise if you want more content that teaches you the psychology most people overlook, but every elite competitor lives by. He never competes where others are fighting. He competes where he knows he can control the outcome. When most people walk into a competitive environment, they rush toward the center of the conflict. They crowd around the same goals, chase the same victories, and exhaust themselves fighting battles that were never designed for them. But the Sigma male walks into that same space with a completely different instinct. He sees the chaos, the noise, the egos colliding, and instead of stepping into the arena, he steps above it. His strength isn't in overpowering opponents, it's in choosing battles so strategically that the outcome was already his before the first move was made. He studies the dynamics quietly, almost invisibly, identifying where emotion is blinding others, where insecurity is driving their decisions, and where opportunity is hiding beneath the surface. While everyone else is busy proving themselves, he is busy positioning himself. For him, competition is never about being seen. It's about being effective. He knows that real power comes from controlling variables, not wrestling with them. So he avoids crowded lanes, saturated spaces, and ego-driven conflicts. Instead, he selects the part of the game no one is paying attention to, the part that decides everything. He enters late, moves slowly, and chooses with precision, making sure every decision he makes has leverage behind it. That's why he often looks detached or uninterested. He isn't avoiding the fight. He's refusing to step into a battlefield where the rules were written to benefit someone else. His silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. His distance isn't fear, it's calculation. And by the time others notice what he's doing, it's too late. He's already positioned in the one place no one thought to occupy, the place where influence is quiet, outcomes are controllable, and victories come without noise or confrontation. He doesn't dominate the battlefield, he redesigns it. He doesn't fight for space. He claims the space no one saw. And this is why he wins in ways others don't understand. His competition was never with them. It was with the environment itself. He studies the entire environment before making a single move. Before anyone even realizes a competition has begun, he's already analyzing the landscape with a level of precision that borders on unnerving. While others rush in, fueled by adrenaline, ego, or the need to prove themselves, he stands still. He watches. He listens. He takes in every detail, the hidden tension between people, the cracks in their confidence, the weaknesses disguised as strengths. He isn't looking for the obvious advantage. He's searching for the structural truth of the situation. What motivates these people? What distracts them? What blinds them? What are they trying to protect? Every answer becomes another map in his mind, a blueprint of the battlefield that no one else sees. For him, patience is a weapon and observation is strategy. He understands that every environment has pressure points, places where one small, precise action can shift the entire dynamic. But you can only find those leverage points if you're not intoxicated by noise. So he stays quiet, detached, almost invisible. People misread this silence as hesitation, but it's actually the sharpening phase, the moment he gathers enough information to act with flawless accuracy. He won't move until he knows the ripple effect of that movement 3 steps ahead. And this is why, when he finally makes a decision, it feels almost supernatural. He enters at the perfect moment, chooses the perfect angle, and applies pressure where no one else even thought to look. Competitors mistake their speed for intelligence, but he knows that speed without awareness is self-destruction. His entire advantage comes from what he sees before he acts, not after. By the time the others realize he has already read the room, decoded the patterns, and predicted the next 5 outcomes, he is standing exactly where he intended to be, with minimal effort and maximum impact. He doesn't react to the environment, he masters it. He neutralizes pressure by detaching emotionally, giving him an advantage no one else has. While everyone else in a competitive environment gets swept up by adrenaline, stress, ego, or fear of failure, he steps out of the emotional storm completely. It's not that he doesn't feel pressure. He simply refuses to let it dictate his decisions. The moment tension rises, he shifts inward, disconnecting from the chaos around him like someone lowering the volume on a loud, frantic room. He doesn't internalize the urgency others project, doesn't mirror their panic, and doesn't let their expectations shape his next move. In that space of emotional quiet, he gains sharpened clarity that no competitor can match. Pressure makes most people sloppy. It pushes them into impulsive reactions, rushed judgments, and mistakes they don't see until it's too late. But he becomes even more deliberate. His breath slows. His thoughts stabilize. His mind clears. Emotional detachment turns him into a strategist rather than a participant, someone who observes the battlefield from above while others are trapped inside it. He can see angles they miss, weaknesses they try to hide, and openings that only appear when others are too overwhelmed to recognize them. This is where his advantage becomes dangerous. He is the only one not drowning in the moment. He understands that competition isn't won by force, it's won by precision. And precision requires stillness. So when stakes rise and tension spikes, he goes colder, calmer, more controlled than anyone expects. Competitors interpret his calm as confidence, indifference, or arrogance, but they never realize it's an engineered state, a protective shield that turns stress into silence. What truly sets him apart is this: emotional detachment frees him from the fear of loss. He doesn't cling to outcomes, so he cannot be manipulated by them. His opponents feel the pressure of winning. He simply plays to understand. And that psychological freedom makes him unpredictable, unshakable, and incredibly hard to outperform. He turns observation into strategy, letting others reveal their weaknesses for him. While competitors rush to prove themselves or showcase their strengths, he does the opposite. He watches. Quietly. Patiently. Intentionally. Observation is not passive for him. It is the most active part of his strategy. He understands that people reveal more when they're not being confronted. Their insecurities slip out in their tone. Their ego leaks through their decisions. Their fears hide behind their urgency. And their blind spots become visible the moment they think no one is paying attention. He positions himself just outside the noise, gathering information others don't even realize they're giving away. Because he isn't busy trying to be seen, he sees everything. He studies how people react under stress, where their confidence cracks, what triggers their impulsiveness, and which patterns repeat when they're not thinking. Competitors underestimate him because he's not competing loudly. He's mapping the entire game. Every gesture becomes data. Every word becomes insight. Every mistake becomes a breadcrumb leading him directly to their vulnerabilities. By the time he steps in, he already knows the outcome because he has quietly calculated it long before anyone else understood what was happening. The brilliance of his approach is that he never forces openings. He lets people create them themselves. When someone is insecure, they over-explain. When someone is prideful, they take unnecessary risks. When someone is desperate, they reveal intentions they meant to hide. He simply lets the natural unraveling happen. His silence becomes a mirror that exposes truth. His presence becomes a test people don't realize they're failing. And when he finally moves, his decisions appear effortless, as if he knew exactly where to strike, when to pivot, and what to ignore. The truth is, he did. Strategy is easy when the answers have already been handed to you by the very people trying to outplay you. He plays the long game while everyone else chases quick wins. In competitive environments, most people obsess over immediate results. The applause, the recognition, the quick success that proves they're ahead. But he isn't wired that way. He understands that speed creates noise, while longevity creates power. So while others sprint, burn out, or panic when progress slows, he moves with deliberate patience. He plans farther, thinks deeper, and positions himself beyond the reach of short-sighted ambitions. The long game demands emotional control, discipline, and the ability to withstand silence, and he has mastered all three. This is why he never appears rushed or threatened. The present moment is just one small frame in a much larger strategy he already sees unfolding. He knows that quick wins often come with hidden costs, shortcuts that limit growth, decisions made out of fear, alliances built on convenience rather than vision. So he lets everyone else fight for the spotlight, compete for attention, or celebrate victories that won't matter a year from now. While they chase dopamine, he builds infrastructure. While they inflate their ego, he strengthens his foundation. His moves are subtle, unglamorous, and often unnoticed, until time reveals that the quiet steps he took early on were the ones that decided everything. What sets him apart is his ability to sacrifice the immediate reward for a future payoff only he can see. He doesn't need to win today. He's positioning himself to win repeatedly, sustainably, and without relying on luck. Competitors burn energy trying to dominate the moment. He conserves his energy to dominate the outcome. And because he never broadcasts his strategy, no one realizes he's already 10 steps ahead until the game is effectively over. The long game favors the one who can wait, and he waits with purpose, patience, and a vision others can't even imagine. He adapts faster than the environment shifts, making him impossible to corner. While most people freeze, hesitate, or cling to their original plan, he recalibrates the moment reality changes. He doesn't wait for permission, reassurance, or confirmation. He senses the shift before others even recognize it. This is why he's nearly impossible to trap. Cornering him requires predicting his behavior, and prediction is impossible when someone thinks fluidly instead of rigidly. His mind doesn't lock onto one path. It branches, expands, and rearranges itself with every new piece of information. He is not attached to how things should go. He focuses only on what is actually unfolding. That detachment makes him untouchable. When the dynamic changes, others get emotional, defensive, or confused. He becomes sharper. The chaos that overwhelms everyone else becomes the very environment where he thrives. His instinct is not to panic, but to observe, to study the small cracks forming in the situation, the subtle openings no one else sees, the hidden opportunity in what looks like collapse. And once he identifies the new landscape, he shifts effortlessly, not out of fear, but out of strategic clarity. He's already where the game is going, while everyone else is still debating where they stand. This adaptability also means he's never trapped by identity, status, or expectation. If the room changes, he changes. If the power dynamic flips, he flips with it. If someone tries to pin him into a corner emotionally or psychologically, he dissolves the frame entirely. This is what makes him dangerous in competitive settings. He cannot be isolated, manipulated, or forced into predictable reactions. His ability to move mentally, emotionally, and strategically at the speed of the environment makes him a shifting target, one you cannot corner, cannot anticipate, and cannot defeat through conventional means. He wins by removal, not aggression, eliminating distractions, ego, and unnecessary battles. While others charge forward trying to dominate every conflict, prove every point, and defend every inch of their pride, he does something far more dangerous. He simply removes what weakens him. He doesn't fight battles that drain him. He doesn't respond to challenges meant to provoke a reaction. He doesn't waste energy proving he's right. Instead, he strips the field of anything that pulls him away from clarity, people, habits, environments, expectations, even old versions of himself. The moment he stops engaging in noise, he becomes the only person in the room who can think clearly. That clarity alone is power. He understands that every fight someone tries to drag him into is a trap, a distraction disguised as importance. So he walks around the conflict, not through it. He steps out of ego's arena entirely, leaving others swinging at shadows while he quietly positions himself for the real win. His refusal to participate is not weakness, it's strategy. Every time he removes something unnecessary, his focus sharpens, his emotional load drops, and his advantage grows. He knows true strength is not shown through confrontation, but through selection, choosing what deserves his energy and what doesn't. And because he removes more than he adds, he becomes lighter, faster, harder to manipulate. People who thrive on drama lose control over him. Environments built on competition cannot provoke him. Situations designed to overwhelm him have nothing left to grab onto. He wins not by overpowering others, but by refusing to be pulled into battles that do not matter. In the end, the field is empty, calm, and clear, and he's the only one still moving forward. His victories look effortless because he has eliminated everything that could sabotage them. When you understand how he wins, you start to see why his path looks so different. He doesn't fight loudly, chase approval, or prove his worth through conflict. He subtracts until only strength remains. And the fewer battles he engages in, the more unstoppable he becomes. That's the quiet advantage most people never notice, until the game is already over and he's the only one who played it correctly. If this breakdown opened your eyes, tell me in the comments. Which form of removal do you think is the hardest? People, habits, or your own ego? Your answer might reveal more about your journey than you expect. For more insights that cut deeper than surface-level psychology, make sure you subscribe to Ultra Wise and don't miss the next chapter, because every video is crafted to sharpen your mind, elevate your strategy, and help you step into the version of yourself no one can control.